To that top headline, new details this afternoon in the death of two women found inside an apartment building this weekend.
This afternoon, lit candles, flowers, and stuffed animals sits right outside the building in remembrance of the two women who died on Saturday. Neighbors say it was a mother and her daughter. Police have identified them as 58-year-old Olga Bacero and 23-year-old Kayla Wilson. The two women are at the center of this investigation.
Just before 8 p.m. on Saturday evening, NYPD officers responded to a brownstone located at 386 2nd Street in Park Slope, Brooklyn. The initial report described an assault involving a woman inside the building. When officers arrived, they discovered 59-year-old Olga Bracero, unconscious and unresponsive. She had suffered multiple stab wounds across her body. Emergency personnel responded, but unfortunately, Olga was pronounced deceased at the scene. As officers searched the apartment, they made a second grim discovery. Inside a bedroom, they found Bracero's 23-year-old daughter, Kayla Wilson. Kayla had also suffered multiple stab wounds and was pronounced deceased at the scene. According to neighbors, Olga was known as a kind and caring woman. One neighbor described her as a sweet mother and said she worked as a vegan chef. Residents who knew the family said both women were generally regarded as good people, but behind the doors of their brownstone, neighbors claimed the relationship between mother and daughter had become increasingly troubled. One neighbor told reporters that Olga had contacted him multiple times seeking help for her daughter. According to him, everything changed after the two returned from a trip to Jamaica. The neighbor shared that Olga told him, allegedly, that Kayla smoked some Mary Jane during the trip and afterwards seemed drastically different. Olga described her daughter as fighting demons and hearing voices that were telling her to do harmful things. That same neighbor also shared that allegedly Kayla had been hospitalized for psychiatric treatment and spent approximately 2 weeks receiving care prior to this tragedy. According to him, she was prescribed medication before being released, but after Kayla returned home, Olga became increasingly frightened. At one point, Olga called him and allegedly told him that her daughter was walking around the house carrying a knife and that she frequently kept the knife in her pocket. Another witness told reporters that she had seen Kayla just 2 days before the tragedy and that Kayla appeared detached and unresponsive while walking through the neighborhood. Authorities have not publicly released a complete reconstruction of the incident. Investigators are continuing to review the evidence, and the medical examiner's office is finalizing their findings. But what they have revealed is that it appears that Kayla took her mother's life and then took her own life by the same means. This is truly a tragedy and leads to questions about whether it was preventable. Could there have been more done for Olga to help Kayla with her mental health struggles? Was there any way to keep Olga protected while she tried to find a way to help her child? We really can't say, but my heart goes out to anyone who knew and loved this family. I'll definitely keep you guys posted if any new information gets released.